tab settings in Word often confuse people, but once you understand the basics behind how you set them up and use them, they become very powerful within documentation. When you type into a document and you need to move the cursor further to the right, unlike the old-fashioned typewriter, you cannot just press the spacebar several times, because when you come to print it, the alignment will not line up as it does on the screen. So you can either use the built-in tabs that Microsoft have already built in, and you can see that by hitting the tab key on the keyboard. Every time I hit the tab key, you'll notice it's not moving one space, but it's moving several spaces across the page. These are called tab settings. Now, sometimes the ones that are built in by Microsoft will suffice, but sometimes you want to be able to create your own columned text. I'll give you an example. We want to put a name, a department, and a extension number. The name we've got typed in. I then want to put a tab a bit further along the page, somewhere near the middle. Now, to do this, you must have your ruler showing. Now, although there's several ways of creating tabs, the method I'm showing you here is probably the most direct route to take. So, with your ruler showing, if you haven't got your ruler showing, go to the View ribbon and ensure that this box here is ticked where it says Show Ruler, just here. Once you've got the ruler showing, which is this ruler bar across the top of the page, you can now use your mouse to click on the ruler to place the tab. Now think of the tab stop as a pin that you're sticking in the ruler. This is to indicate where you want your cursor to jump to. So for example, if I click my mouse near the 7, you'll notice it's put a small little L-shape marker. If I come across to somewhere around 12.5 and click, it's put another little marker there. Watch what happens now when I hit the tab key on my keyboard. It will jump to that first marker that I put in. I can then type in the department, tab across again, and get to the next marker I put on the ruler and type extension. When you press the return key to come down to the next line, it brings the tabs with it. So now I can type a name, John, hit the tab key, department, sales, tab, extension 123, enter. Steve is in the admin department on extension 234. Sue is in the payroll department and on extension 333. Now you can see how the alignment looks a lot neater with tabs, and it's very quick and simple. You can adjust these or get rid of them. Let's cover the way we adjust these. The first thing you want to do is to select the area that you want adjusted, because the way you adjust these is you slide these little markers that you placed on the ruler left or right, almost like a slide rule. However, if I was to adjust it now, it would only adjust the line that my cursor is currently on, which you can see it's flashing away at the end here. what I need to do is to select all of my text in that section that contains those tab settings. Now if I move my cursor onto that first little marker, when I hold down my left mouse button, can you see it draws a line down the page to indicate I've grabbed hold of the correct marker? And I'm going to slide my mouse left or right. As I slide this, you'll see that the text comes with me, so I can make adjustments just by grabbing hold of these little markers. Now if I was to put another marker on the ruler up here, you'll see I've just put a new marker here. If I want to remove any of my tabs, then the way you remove them is you grab hold of them like you do when you move these, grab it with your left mouse button, and you simply drag it off the ruler. So you pull downwards to remove it, and you'll see you've pulled that marker off. Be careful when you're adjusting these markers as you slide it left and right. Be careful that as you're sliding it, your mouse movement doesn't accidentally drift off the ruler, because you will lose that marker. So make sure you have that marker travelling horizontally across the ruler. Now the way that tabs work, every time I press enter, you'll notice if you look at the ruler, the tabs come down with me. However, on this line here that I'm currently on, this one, you can see my cursor, if I no longer want two markers on there, I can pull these off. It doesn't affect anything above. It affects the line that I'm on and below. What I could do is to put two new markers in different locations. I could hit the tab key, tab 1, hit the tab key again and type tab 2. Press enter, hit the tab key. Always hit the tab key to jump to your little marker. Remember, think of these as putting pins into the paper where you want the cursor to jump to when you hit your tab key. And that's how you set up some basic tabs in Word.